The church bell has just rung to signal that it's 12 o'clock, and I'm doing a little bit of writing this afternoon. So we are starting another writing vlog. Today I am working on High Quality Man. It's my third novel. I'm currently doing the first draft, about 30, well, exactly really 32,000 words into writing it. Kind of hoping for it to end up somewhere between the 65 to 70 range. That's what I anticipate anyway. So yeah, almost exactly halfway to, if I have 65 as my target, so almost exactly halfway to that, which feels kind of crazy because I have a little word count tracker on my phone, and today it will tick. If I write 1,000 words today, it will tick over to 50% done. Even if I just write 500, I think it'll tick over because that's math. But yeah, so come along with me. I will use you as my emotional support crutch, and my other emotional support crutch is my very beloved project candle that burns every time I work on this project. So yeah, just about to light that and get started, and yeah, excited. Hopefully this will be a good writing session. I can't really remember where I was up to. I think I just started the beginnings of a new chapter, and I'm not really sure what happens in that yet. I am a discovery writer. I don't outline my books, so yeah, kind of just figuring it out on the fly. But I've kind of gotten this book to a place where it's almost back to the start in a way, because a lot's happened, but the character is kind of back in the circumstances he was at the start of the novel. That doesn't sound like the best plot, and I swear it works better in the novel, because he was foisted out of this position, and he's been working his way to get back to where he is now, and so that journey kind of feels more interesting than him just we've written 100 pages but we're back at the start kind of thing. But yeah, things are rapidly gonna get worse from here, and he's gonna go on quite a ride, so come along for that. Okay, don't be fooled by the same shirt. My plan for yesterday did not work out. I completely failed to get any writing done at all. And I left that first clip in, I guess, because this is, part of the process, and I want my vlogs to feel authentic to how writing this novel is. So sometimes I set up to write with the best intentions, and I guess I fall headfirst onto the pavement and I don't really follow through. But we are changing that today, so it is 24 hours later and I am settling down to write. I had a comment on my most recent video suggesting a name for the candle, so I suppose, barring that I receive another suggestion that I like more, I'm gonna name the candle John Wick. Which I think is appropriate, because I think that's something that my main character of this novel, I think he would be into John Wick, the movies. So I think naming the candle John Wick feels kind of really quite, some kind of poetic justice or something. But yeah, I'm gonna light it now and set to writing. Okay, see you later. Hey, session done. Here's your shot of John Wick at the end. It took a total of 4 matches to light today. So maybe the aggressive candle name is quite appropriate for for this, monster who eats matches like nothing else. Okay, I'm gonna blow it out now. There we go. I'll be with you in a sec. Okay, I'm officially at the midpoint of this draft, I think. I'm finding midpoints quite challenging because it always feels like, well, I suppose this does make sense, but it always feels like I'm either like kind of driving the action forward or I'm having a kind of in-between scene. And today I wrote two kind of in-between scenes in a row, which kind of made me feel like I was not, like, they don't feel quite as captivating as when I'm writing a scene that really drives the plot forward. And it's hard because I'm writing this ghost that kind of haunts and follows this character around, but she has to be present in the scene. But it's hard when it's a scene with a lot of other characters, because I want those other characters to talk and them to have a normal conversation, but I also want you to get the sense that she's still kind of there. So it's just hard to kind of balance those two kind of competing things. But I guess this is the first draft, so really it's just about getting to the end and then seeing what I have. So that is my conclusion for today. I will see you on my next writing session. Okay, welcome to Saturday night writing. It's taken the better part of the whole day to work up to starting work on my novel. I can't really explain why. I'm not, like, it's not like I particularly don't know what I'm doing. I kind of managed to figure it out, and I know I managed to figure it out every session I start. But today I just felt a lot of resistance. I don't know whether it was because I look every month, and Scrivener has this writing history thing that tells you the days you wrote and how much you wrote on those days. And I try and like pace out my months. Like if I get to like 3,000 words written by this date, etc., then I try and like get to the same point by the same time of the month. And today is like the point in the month where I was at 2,000 words last month and I'm only at 1,000 words. So if I write today, like I would get there, but that would just be like on target. It wouldn't really be ahead in any way. And something about that just really made me feel really resistant to like to starting. So I don't know whether I just need to get the numbers somewhere else. That could be a quite practical solution, but yeah, I think it's hard not to look at numbers when you're working on something. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm really feeling reluctant, feeling like I'd rather just goof off. But yeah, need to make time for this. So we're gonna try. Okay, so I'm 5 minutes in with 0 words written. It is not going well, but I feel like I've lit the candle, like John Wick is burning, so like I should try for at least, I don't know how much longer I have to sit here and fail. I'm rereading the last bit I did in the last session, and I'm just like, I'm really hating it. I'm bored by it. It feels unnecessary, but like, does it serve me to start a writing session by deleting like 220 words? No. I should just leave it in the draft. But I don't know where to go from this section that I've just read. I don't know what to add to it. Like normally when I read through the last 2 paragraphs of what I've written previously, I kind of come up with some plan of attack. Like I have at least 10 to 20 words added by the time I've read through it all. And then it's easy to kind of follow on from there. But tonight it's just stubbornly refusing to stay. Like, it's stubbornly refusing to go anywhere. Yeah, that's just a bit of me venting my frustration, but I will let you know if things improve. I wish I could say that things have made a turn for the better, but nope. I'm calling this one. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and start fresh. Okay, welcome to the next day. I am another 1,000 words down, so this is just a post-writing update. Before I started, I had a phone call with someone who kind of knows a little bit about the project, and that kind of helped to clarify what I was doing with the rest of this chapter, and I came up with an idea. And I'm sort of in the middle of writing it. I added another 1,000 words, but I'm not quite finished with the scene yet. I still have, I don't know, a few, maybe 500 more words I need to write to finish the chapter. But yeah, that is the update of this, saga of writing session. I do think you kind of work on things in the background, so maybe I needed that extra bit of time. Maybe I wouldn't have come up with such a good idea if I tried to force myself to churn out something last night. So I'm feeling quite good about that, and yeah, I will see you in the next clip. Hey, okay, so as I've been putting this video together, I've been reflecting a lot on that kind of mini crash out I had where I couldn't find anything to write and I couldn't start the first sentence, and I therefore had to abandon the writing session. And I think one thing I've come to the realization of is sometimes you need to be able to call it. Like, you need to know that nothing fruitful, nothing good is going to come of you just bashing your head against the wall, and you're going to almost build in doubt and self-criticism and make yourself hate what you're writing because you are just not in the space to create, and that's okay. And I think learning that for me has been a process. I remember when I was working on the go-between girl, I would get to this point I would get to a certain point in the story and I would just get stuck. And it would be so eternally stuck that I needed someone else to read it and brainstorm with me and tell me, no, this is good, you need to keep going, like there's more you can do here. And this is the first point, well, what you've just seen in the video is the first point in this project that I've had a crash out of this proportion where I sat down to do a writing session and I had nothing in the tank, had no words, had no ideas for where the plot needed to go next. And when I was working on the go-between girl, that would happen pretty much like clockwork every 10 to 15,000 words into the project. And one time that actually led to me going back to the start of the novel and adding more words to those chapters and trying to build it out and flesh it out in that way, because I thought, I just don't know how to do what I want to do yet. So I think, yeah, being able to call it is a writing skill in itself, and being able to walk away and say, it's not today, it doesn't mean it's not never, but I need respite, I need a break from this, I need to put my head somewhere else for a bit. Can be hard, especially when you have like limited writing time, but if you need a permission slip or someone to say, hey, it's okay if you didn't write today, it's okay if you're not making progress with your projects that in the way you want to be, I'm here to say that, like, you will still get there. You will still get to the end, like I will. You just need to be okay with it being at a slower pace and it not being the perfect robot churning out words that you sometimes, or I sometimes want. So yeah, this is the conclusion of the video. And I just want to thank you for being here and taking an interest in my writing as always. And if you have some comment to leave or something you want to update me on, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.